Dumpster Fire Flix, the show that dives headfirst into the cinematic landfill and comes out smelling like scorched popcorn and regret.
A lot of regret.
A lot of, especially for this one.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know, it's still not as bad as last week's though.
Last week's was pretty freaking bad, but with this week, I blame you, Joe, because I gave you a choice.
You did.
I gave you a choice, and this is what you chose.
Yeah.
So I am in the hot seat at this point in this episode. So
yeah,
thank you.
No problem. All right. Well, let's not keep the people in suspense. What trash are we burning through, my man? Well, none other than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Heroes in a Half Shell, Turtle Power 3. One. I forgot there was a third one.
I wish I would forget this movie, and I've seen it now. At this point, I've seen it twice. So
yeah,
yeah.
I only saw it once, and that was today. I got stuck in traffic, so I watched half in the morning and half on the way home, thanks to the internet, and unthankful to the internet at the same time. And I kind of wish I saw Turtles 2 again, because at least we had Super Shredder in that.
We did, and we had Toka and Razor. So
yeah. So all right, here's the story of this one. Turtles 3 takes us to frugal Japan somehow, through a scepter somehow that travels through time as long as you and the person in that time period touch the scepter at the same time. So everybody
and they weigh the same amount of weight. That's
yeah, they have to be equally distributed. So that means I would get stuck with the guy in the pit.
Yeah,
the jail. Yeah, thanks, thanks, Turtles. Wageless mofos. So yeah, I don't know. This is pretty trashy.
Yeah. So basically, Turtles go back in time.
Turtles in Time was the name of this, wasn't it?
I really honestly, I know the video game was called Turtles in Time, which is actually a decent video game. Yeah, so Turtles go back in time. They get involved in a, was that like Civil War maybe? With a,
I would say frugal Japan skirmish.
The invaders, Americans, British apparently. They have a war, and they're offering the Japanese emperor guns. And the Turtles are there to stop them and find a way to get back home.
Oh, it's legit just called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3.
Yep, because this movie was so lazy, they didn't even want to come up with a title on it.
Speaking of lazy, how lazy was the soundtrack?
Yeah.
Did you notice they used the same, like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle? Like, I could do that, but they used that, and then they just used this, like, over and over again.
Yeah. And the costumes were pretty bad.
The Turtles didn't look bad.
No, compared to the first one they looked awesome. I mean, it's not as bad as like the Ninja Turtles TV show. That was bad. Yeah, but with this one, they were pretty bad. I hated the shape of their faces. It was almost like they had beaks at one point.
Yeah, they even said that they had beaks. You could tell by my beak.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Splinter though, he looked pretty cool.
Yeah, because I felt like he was an animatronic.
Oh yeah, definitely. He was definitely animatronic. Joe, were you a Ninja Turtles fan?
I was. I won't lie. I used to watch it with my uncle. It was a good time.
Dude, I was the diehard Ninja Turtles fan. I watched the cartoon. I read the comic books, Archie and Mirage comic books. I bought all the toys. I even bought the horrible toys like Clown Disguise Michelangelo. I mean, I bought it all. One of my biggest regrets as a kid, I always say the fact that I never got to see them in concert.
Oh, I forgot about that. I remember those things. Yeah, they did like karate moves on stage.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So the synopsis of this movie is when journalist April O'Neil discovers an ancient power.
Yeah, she discovers an
ancient scepter, not even power. Sorry, scepter with magical powers. The Turtles must cowabunga their way back to the 17th century Japan and rescue her from the evil clutches of Lord Noriega from South America. I think that was bothering me because they kept saying Noriega, and I was like, isn't that South American?
That was the Emperor, or was that the
that was the Emperor though?
Okay.
Played by Sabs Tamino. He's still alive. And that was April O'Neil.
Of course he is. He's like a really famous actor. He's been like so much stuff.
Oh wow, yeah.
Amazing actor, and he wasted his time on this piece of shit.
And that was the original April from the original.
No, that was the sequel April, because the first April never came back. So sequel.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the one from the second one is in this one.
The one for the second one's in this one. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, the hot one.
Yeah. I thought the other April.
Well, the first one was hot, yeah, but I always had a crush on this one more than I did the first one.
But Casey Jones came back.
He did. Him and his ancestor came back.
Yeah, I was gonna say that guy back in looked a lot like him, and then it was like, is that him? But like I was watching it on a screen this big, so I couldn't really tell. But now that you're saying that, it sounds like it was him. It was
him. It was.
He did the terrible English accent.
Yep.
Elias Kotas.
Exactly. So
he's been in a ton of stuff, by the way. He's in The Thin Red Line, The Shooter, Last Mission of Mars, Chicago PD, Silent Planet, Jake Squad, The Killing. He's been in a ton of stuff, man.
Yeah, his
career is ridiculous.
Well, I mean, this movie, it was so lazily written. It was just so lazy, and yet at the same time needlessly complicated. Like, I kept thinking, why just make them go back in time? Why do they have to switch bodies with somebody else? Because the worst part was the other samurais in the sewers with Splinter and Casey Jones babysitting them. It was just so boring. Like, why not just send them back in time? I don't understand this. Why do that? Yeah,
like they should have just grabbed the scepter she got. All of them went back to Japan because they were like, oh, let me see, and then all of a sudden it activates something, and they have to spend the time figuring out how to activate it so they could send them back. I thought that would have been a better setup, but I was 10. So.
I mean, at one point they lose the scepter.
Right.
And they decide they're going to build a new scepter, which makes no sense whatsoever.
None.
How are we making a new scepter? It's magic. Are you like a magician somehow? Like, you're a sorcerer at this point? Like, I don't get it. And also, the whole scepter starts where the son of the emperor, who apparently has a bad relationship with him, finds a scroll with the scepter, and the scroll has a picture of the turtles in it, and apparently that's a story from a legend from before where some turtles fought in a great war.
So mutant turtles existed before Frugal Japan? Is that what we're saying?
Or here's my theory: in the future, they're going to go back in time again.
Oh.
And save somebody in a war and then get written down. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever at all.
Nope. And they were demons, and then they went to turtles, and then
Oh, and everybody spoke English. All the main characters spoke English.
Yeah, that was helpful.
That was incredibly helpful. Thank God for the education system. And
well, I mean, no. We got to thank God for our terrible teeth British gents that show up in midway of this movie and threaten Prince.
Yes, threaten the Prince. He gets shot into the future.
Yeah,
and
the Prince gets shot into the future, and the turtles go into the past. So if you want to talk about body weights being even and everything, none of these people have giant shells.
No.
So the body weight, this thing is like out the window, if you ask me. It just doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, all of them are like different sizes also. Some of them are thinner, some of them are thicker. I don't know, man. Like, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. This is why I say that I don't understand why we have to do this complicated thing. Because also, and here's a gripe I have with time travel movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
These kind of time travel movies. So, for example, their whole thing is, oh, we got to stay in the sewer from when they come back. We have to make sure everybody's still here because the guys are going to come back because they only have 60 hours in the past, or else they'll get 60 and a half hours in the past, or they'll get stuck there. So during this whole time, while they're having their adventure in Japan, Casey and Splinter are trying to keep these guys from wandering off. So my thing is, why does it matter? Why does it matter? The minute they go back in time, they should automatically come back because time is not moving at the same time as the past. It just always ticks me off. Like, there's this movie called Timeline where they send these guys in the past when this time machine, suddenly time machine breaks and they're like, oh my God, we got to fix the time machine or else they'll never come back. We got to fix the time machine. Who cares how quickly you solve the time machine? You're going to solve it. It could be 3 months from now. It doesn't matter. They're going to come back at the same time. As soon as you turn on that time machine, they're back, baby. Like, it just bugs me so much of this.
Wait, you don't like a time crunch time travel movie?
No, like the only time travel movie that I thought was really, I think is perfect, Back to the Future. Back to the Future is perfect. Perfect time travel movie.
The first Terminator, I think, is perfect.
First Terminator also is and the second Terminator is one of the best sequels of all time.
Yes.
Next to Empire, of course. And that was it. That's all the Terminators they ever had. Oh, and a TV show. They had a TV show called Sarah Connors. That's it.
But the rest don't exist.
I don't know what you're talking about, Joe. I've never heard of any other Terminator movie.
You don't remember the Lady Terminator?
I don't know what you're talking about. That
you don't remember the carbon-based Terminator that was John Connor himself?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, I want to thank the British people for making sure everybody spoke English.
Yes.
In Frugal Japan.
And one of them is obsessed with birds. The bad guy's obsessed with birds.
Yeah, it was a weird thing. Like birds and guns.
But to say how lazy this movie was, a lot of these jokes are such dated, and dad jokes are so lazy. So I decided I would write down. I wrote down.
Oh, look at you.
This down. I wrote down so many of the jokes. So in this movie, and there's probably more I missed, they do a "I'll be back" joke.
Yes.
They did a "I've fallen, I can't get up" jokes.
Yes.
They
90s, baby.
They did Street Stooges jokes.
Oh yeah.
They did a Kurt Russell backdraft joke.
Yeah, you're right. I remember that.
Yeah.
When he goes to save the kid in the fire. Yeah.
Exactly. And they also did they did a Wayne's World joke.
Yeah.
Very awkward Wayne's World joke where they're saying swing.
Yeah.
To April.
Yeah. Because she's got her legs exposed.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And also did a Wet Willy. Wet Willy.
Yeah.
Wet Willy happened a lot in this movie.
That was like the number one thing that happened to the British guy.
Yeah.
Wet Willy. I was waiting for Splinter to do it when they got back.
Oh yeah.
Like, maybe that's something they learned from him.
Yeah. Well, he had a horrible joke at the end too, where he put a lampshade on.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I only saw one good joke. One good joke in this movie. And that's when the bad guy says,
God, stay cool. Who's your tailor? We're naked.
That's it. That's the only joke in the entire movie that I thought was funny.
I didn't laugh at any of the jokes. I don't know. I was like, man, I must be really older now because like none of this is making me chuckle. You know, nothing that even close.
I just want them to shut up at one point because I was just like, stop it. Just stop it. Because these are horrible jokes. You're killing comedy in front of me.
The only thing that doesn't make this an atrocious thing is the fight choreography was pretty good.
Yeah, the stunts were really good, right?
Yeah. The stunts were amazing.
The stunts were really good, like when they're falling off the horses.
Yeah, and when he was like riding the horse in the turtle costume, I was like,
yeah.
Damn.
I mean, at one point, what I thought was really cool is they do a high five by doing a high kick high five.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Which I was like, oh my god, that's really freaking cool.
Him and running on the horse, which I thought was sick.
And another cool scene was when Raph throws his sigh and breaks the girl's bow.
Yeah, that was neat.
That was pretty cool. Yeah.
I mean, this isn't total dumpster fire. There's some very good redeeming.
There is. I mean, there's a villain turn at one point with Casey's ancestor turning out to be a bad guy and then turns out to be a good guy again. And yeah, I mean, that was pretty cool. The sets were amazing. These sets were really good. Yeah, they don't make sets like this anymore, man. They're really good. They were really good. A lot of detail was put into it. Yeah, I mean, there's some stuff there. I just went, what? There's a screensaver death where the bad guy dies by going, ah!
Yeah.
And suddenly he just like disappears and you just hear splash.
Yeah. The water did not look that deep and they were acting like they were going to drown type of thing.
Yeah, he was clearly in the green screen. It was so obvious. And oh, by the way, at one point they make a joke toward this guy and call him Zorro. That's incredibly funny. Because 5 years later, this man would be the main villain of The Mask of Zorro.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yes. Yeah.
I loved how crazy it was when it's like, oh, we brought gunpowder. It's like, didn't they have gunpowder? We brought some more guns and a cannon.
Yes, a cannon.
But there's a scene where like the cannon's going to shoot, like they made stuffed turtles. On the stick poles to like the case the cannon, and like instead of like the cannon going in the middle and blowing up everything, it like blows them up out of order. That's wrong.
And then the Emperor at one point he fights Leonardo, with his swords. Leonardo beats him, of course, and he goes, "Fine, kill me." And Leonardo cuts his ponytail.
Yeah.
Like, ah, ha, ha, I didn't kill you. I just cut off your ponytail. My wife turns to me and says, you know how horrible what he just did is? That is shame. That's a shameful thing in Japan. That's not cool. He would have preferred death than this crap.
Yeah. That was a big disgrace.
And he just runs away like a little pussy. And then he turns into a Looney Tune character. He gets trapped in a bell.
Right.
When they shoot Leonardo, it breaks into the cannon. Suddenly he comes out like a Looney Tune character with his head smoking and his hair all messed up. What?
Yeah, they just gave up at that point.
Yeah.
It's not like any of the gunpowder hit him. If anything, he'd have some of the shrapnel from the top of the bell.
Oh, yeah. He would be dead.
Yeah, he'd probably be dead. Yeah.
He would be dead. He would have a big chunk in his head of ancient metal.
Yeah. So, yeah, this was trash. Well, I got to ask you, where did you tap out? Let's get that. How bad was it? Well, we went over that.
It was bad. Man.
It was bad.
It was bad. It was bad.
Worst of the Turtles movies for sure.
Definitely worse than Turtles movies. I mean, I think the only thing that's worse than this is the Turtles TV show with Venus de Milo. I think that's the only worst thing in this, and that was only because their mouths didn't move in the TV show.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, but with this, man, this was.
Did you watch the Michael Bay ones?
Sadly, yes, I did. I did watch them,
and they were better than this.
They had better special effects.
And you know what's upsetting about the Michael Bay? Like, they used the exact same technology to make the Doomsday in Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, I remember.
Ruined Batman. It was like, that's not fucking Doomsday. That's a Ninja Turtle.
They had Jack Reacher playing Raphael.
Yeah, that's right.
He had a hard time in the movie. He did an interview where he's talking about how horrible they treated them.
The crew was wrapping out. We were shooting in Brooklyn one day and had a long ride back to Manhattan, where everybody was staying, and they wouldn't let us in the cars to go home. So the Turtles, they wouldn't let us in the cars to go home.
What do you mean?
They wanted to get the crew out of there to get them off the clock, because if they stayed, they had to pay them.
Right.
If we stayed, they don't. And the freaking studio that we were shooting in locks the doors because they were like, "We're closing up for the night. We got a cleaning crew coming in. Like, it's done. It's security here." And so we're in the parking lot, sitting on our backpacks in an empty parking lot because the rest of the crew had driven. Anybody who needed to be shuttled was being shuttled, and they're like, "Producer said you can't get in yet." So we sat there. I'm calling my team in LA, like, they won't give us a ride home. What the kind of production is this? Like, wow.
Yeah, man. I could go on and on about those movies, dude. And just the Turtles in general. For example, I'll never understand why is Splinter a rat turned human? Why just not do the cartoon? The cartoon was great. He's a guy who turns into a rat. He's a sensei who turns into a rat.
Yeah.
What? You mean to
tell
me?
He loses stuff, and then he got sent underground, and he had to live. He was like homeless, basically.
Yeah, he was homeless. Exactly. He escaped Japan because Shredder took over Clan, and he became homeless, and he lived in the sewers with rats and the turtles. Turtles got into the ooze, became teenagers, and he got into the ooze. And since he was next to rats, he turned into a rat. That was perfect. Because you could explain how he knows kung fu, right? Yeah. And martial arts, why he's so great in martial arts and why he's a sensei. Mm-hmm. It explains that. But no, we have to do the first one. He practiced martial arts in a cage
as a rat.
And his shame is that he got his ear cut off and he saw his master die. No, this is stupid. I know it's like the comic books, but it was so stupid. And then they did the same thing in Michael Bay, but this time they found the book. They found the book of martial arts.
Yeah.
And they all learned it. So he's just as good as a turtle. So what the hell is that?
Yeah, he's just a little older, so that makes him more helpful.
That makes him like. And then the recent one, and don't get me wrong, I like the recent cartoon. I have issues with that. And one of my biggest issues is now he's a rat and he learns martial arts from YouTube.
Oh.
Yeah.
Surprised he didn't learn how to get pizza.
Yeah. Well, anyway, back to this movie, though. Ugh. This movie was pure garbage. It's definitely the worst Turtle movie. I hate to say that it is actually worse than Michael Bay, because with Michael Bay, there's special effects
and stuff.
Yeah. And in the second one, it has Bebop and Rocksteady, and it has Cran, even though it makes no sense whatsoever in those movies. Maybe we'll do one. Maybe we'll do a Dumpster Fire and Doze. But it's definitely the worst. It's cheap. The costumes are cheap. It makes no sense whatsoever with the time travel thing. I don't know why we spend so much time with these ancient samurai in modern times getting hooked on hockey.
Yeah.
That makes no sense whatsoever. You wasted Casey. And
like I think if I was in frugal Japan and then I traveled to now and saw television, I'd flip the fuck out. I wouldn't be like, wow. I'd be like, what the fuck? You know, why are these little people stuck in this machine? You're a witch. You know, you're like,
I mean, at one point they break April's Walkman.
yeah.
Right? I mean, I always just thought it was because of the song, because that song sucked. Yeah, they break her Walkman, which she could have used to prove that she was a witch. So she could have used that. What did you think, Joe? What did you think about this movie?
I thought the only thing that I liked was the fighting, and that makes it better than War of the Worlds 2025, Highlander 2, and of course Gojira. But I don't know. It was just so difficult to watch it. Like the dialogue was so rough in this. Like all the turtle dialogue was just really bad jokes and didn't move the story along if there was a story. And I use the term story lightly because it was just like, what? You know, it just didn't make any sense. Like as far as time travel stuff goes, all of it just didn't make sense. And then there was no explanation as to if that guy was related to Casey Jones or was like, are we budgeted out that we can't hire another actual British guy? We're just gonna have our man over here do it.
Yeah, he's ancient Casey Jones.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. And then we'll call it a day. He'll just put on a British accent and he's one of them.
Yeah, and we'll put a really bad wig in the modern times on him. So,
I mean, he had to, because that guy was losing his hair.
Yeah. But also, there's a romance between Michelangelo and
the ninja lady.
Yeah, the rebellion lady. That was a little weird. That wasn't explained very well.
Yeah, it's like he was a turtle. There's no way that's gonna work.
Yeah, when they was in the cartoons, Donatello's in love with April. Like,
yeah, I always thought that was stupid. They should just get like him a turtle lady, so he can fertilize her eggs and call it a day. And then
or hey, I'm progressive, a frog. I can do
interspecies erotica. No.
There we go.
Oh my god! I tell you, the other thing that bugged me about this movie is it went by quick.
Yeah,
it was just like I almost thought it was like a 2x movie, like going double the speed, because it just went by so quickly. It was like they got into frugal Japan. They got in the middle of the fight that was going on. Michael goes by himself. It was Michelangelo that went by.
Yeah, Michelangelo. Yeah.
Goes by himself, finds inner peace, doesn't want to go back. But like, you got to go back. And I was like, oh, maybe that's where it's going to be. Like his regret to not want to go back. And when they came back, he didn't come back. So I was like, oh, maybe they're going to have to go back further in time. And they, oh, not you again. And then like take that guy down. You know what I mean? Like the family member. But that's not what happened at all. It was just like, oops, and Michelangelo.
And I thought when he came back, it was be like, oh, you're back. And he's like, yeah, I was there for like 3 months, and I saw so many things. Like, I thought that was going to be, no. It's just literally 2 seconds.
Yeah.
He's back. And then there's the kid relationship between Raphael and the kid. Because there's always, back then, it always has to be one.
Yeah. Come on, man. Cub and wolf, man. They got to take notes from the greats.
Well, it's just when I was watching this movie, all I kept thinking was, this is like some old middle-aged guy going, this is what the kids like. They like the Wayne's World and jokes. Yeah, they like Wet Willies, right? My kid likes Wet Willies, whatever, man. That's what I kept picturing in my head. But
yeah, they leaned into the wrong things to lean in on.
Yeah, this was crap. This is pure crap.
All right, well, let's talk about it. Where did we tap out?
That's it, I'm done.
All right, so I watched a half hour on the bus ride in and the rest of the movie on the bus ride home with dribs and drabs. So it took me 3 times. I tapped out 3 times for this.
But voluntarily or just because you had to?
Voluntarily. I was like, oh, I'm here. Sorry. I turned it off before, and then I started listening to political news. See what madness is awaiting us today. You know what I mean? So yeah, no, I had to tap out 3 times, man.
What point did you tap out?
Once I got into frugal Japan, and then there was the fire, and he was like, all right, well, I'm gonna put this on. And then like my human brain clicked in. It's like, wait a minute, that rubber suit's gonna light up really bad. And it was so that I tapped. I was like, all right, I can't. And so I tapped out then. And then later on with the love scene with him and the rebellion chick, I was like, really? this is what they're gonna do in a kids movie, like this type of thing. Tapped out then, and then the third time was when they came back. I was like, oh my god, this movie's not over yet. And then like they came back, and they came back without Michelangelo. I was like, oh shit. So, and then I thought that thing of maybe they have to go back again, and this is when they meet the other guy. And then it was like 2 seconds later, boop, and I was like, you know what? Let me just turn this off, and then I'll finish it before we start this. And that's what happened.
Yeah, I tapped out when they rescued April from the jail. That's when I tapped out the first time. Mostly because they said an "I'll be back" joke.
Yeah,
which made no sense. They're literally escaping, and they're not even escaping. They're literally in the fight, and they go, "I'll be back." And I'm like, shouldn't you wait until you actually say leave and then you say it? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So that pissed me off. And then the kid and the yo-yo. When Raphael gives him a yo-yo, going like, "Hey kid, I'll teach you how to do yo-yo," and blah blah. And then the kid's like, "You're gonna die." And
yeah, it was random. Sorry, buddy, you're toast.
Yeah. And I just kept thinking, he goes, like, you go into the forest and you play with your friends. No matter what, you just pray with your friends. You don't come back. And I just kept thinking, and then one day when you come back and you find all your relatives and friends, your bodies dying on the floor, burning to death, you'll just wake up in the middle of the night screaming, "Yo-yo!"
That's a good one. I was thinking like, yeah, and they go in the forest, and I was like, oh, it's the forest of death, because they have that. It's like, oh no, oh my god, it was just awful.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Those were 2 times I tapped out.
You did better than me. I like I said 3 times. Various points in the movie.
I mean, I got close with the fire.
Oh yeah, that fire, because like your mind just goes, wait a minute, that's a rubber, because you know how this stuff is made. So you're like, that's a rubber suit, that's gonna blow up and melt all around him. Like,
not just that, but like also as a kid, I didn't really notice it, because now I notice him as an adult. When they fight with their weapons, they don't cut anybody, they don't stab anybody. They just basically knock their weapons out and they punch them and they kick them.
Yeah,
you can't show that stuff. But in the first one, they did do some damage, man. I remember the first one. That's the best one ever. Which is why
the first one's fantastic.
Yeah, which is why we chose this movie, because it's the 35th anniversary of the original.
Oh wow. Look at that.
Yeah, this was a very dumb movie. I hate this movie. I hate it. I hate it. I don't hate it as much as War of the Worlds, and I don't hate it as much as Godzilla, but I do hate this movie just because as a child, it just hurts my childhood so much, because I love the Turtles so much. I was obsessed with the Turtles. So I even owned that horrible NES game, and I still thought that was better than this. So
that was the most impossible game ever.
I beat it. I actually beat it. Yeah. Wow. It took me 6 months of constantly playing it, but I actually did beat it.
Not bad. I'm impressed. I'll give you 5.
Thank you.
All right, man. Well, where would you rate this? Because you have a rating system that's beloved and sought after by the current people that run Rotten Tomatoes. They're talking about switching their version over to you. So
for bad movies. Yeah. So this is David's bad movie tier system. It's a 5-tier system. First tier is what I call like the beginner's tier. This is a tier that I recommend to people. If you're thinking about entering into the bad movie world, these are good movies for you to start with. They're bad. They won't make you feel like you've wasted your time. They are bad, but they have some funny elements to it. To throw in Madam Web and Craven as the starter movies. That's tier 1. Tier 2 is when you get to the fun stuff. These movies are Samurai Cop, the classic The Room, Birdemic. These are movies that have a cult following. They will probably have a midnight showing. I wouldn't be surprised if they do. They're amazing films. They make you laugh. You'll be talking about them forever. They're great. They're amazing. Tier 3 is when we start getting into the rough stuff. Tier 3 is things like Troll 3, the Star Wars Holiday Special, our lovely Highlander 2. Whatever version that you can pick, that's all on there. That's basically, these movies are movies that you do have to tap out. At one point or another, you will have to tap out during these movies, because they will definitely drain your energy. They still are fun to make fun of, because even with Highlander 2, we had a great time making fun of that movie. They are very tough to watch, and they will take up a lot of your time. Now, tier 4. Tier 4 is what I like to call the Neil Breen tier. Now, Neil Breen is what I like to call the modern Ed Wood. Some people argue me and say Uwe Boll is the modern Ed Wood. No, my friends. Neil Breen is a genius. Neil Breen makes horrible movies that will leave you thinking, I don't know what happened. I know I went in at 2 o'clock and somehow it's 7 o'clock, and I don't know what happened between those hours. I know it was bad, but something happened and I thought it was glorious. And that is Neil Breen movies. Neil Breen funds his own movies. He's an independent filmmaker. He keeps me believing in independent film. But in this tier, you will find these Ubi Bowl movies. Yes, you will find Ed Wood, Planet 9 from Outer Space. If you do not tap out in this movie, you are made of iron, my friend. You are an amazing human being that can suffer, and I salute you. So that is 4. And tier 5 is the worst of the worst. Tier 5 is irredeemable. Tier 5, you'll never find any redeeming qualities of this movie. And tier 5, you will see movies as Cats, the musical.
Clinching my pearls.
Yes, and War of the Worlds with Ice Cube.
Oh yeah, that was awful. That's a tier.
But one of the ones that is the worst, I know Joe agrees with me on this one, Ang Lee's The Hulk.
Oh, absolutely. That was trash.
Yes, these movies are pure shit, pure shit. You will waste 2 hours of your time. If I had the Turtle Scepter, I would go back in time and tell myself never to watch these movies again. Save the hours of my time watching it to do something more productive like knitting. Yeah, so as for where this movie falls into, I will say this movie is a tier 3.
Okay.
I believe
I would say that. Yeah,
I would say it's a tier 3. I don't think it's as fun as something like The Room or Birdemic. We can make fun of it, but it still has some fun elements you can make fun of. It still has some redeeming qualities like the stunt work and April, gorgeous woman. Yeah, I would definitely say that Turtles 3 is in tier 3. And I am proud to say that for the first time in weeks, we have finally put a movie that is not a tier 5. So,
yay, we did it.
We did it. So yes, I would say if you decide to invest in your time, surprisingly, actually, I don't know if you know this, Joe, this movie was incredibly hard to find.
Oh, I know.
It was incredibly hard to find. You have to rent it on Amazon, and it's expensive. It's like $7 to rent.
You got to make that money back, man. This is a shortfall.
And if you want to buy it, it's like $10. If you want to buy it on DVD, you could, but that's also another $10. It's incredibly hard. And I just kept thinking to myself, why? Why is this movie so hard to find? It's garbage. I mean, you would think that people would be like, yeah, here's $1. I'll sell it to you for $1. No, it's actually expensive to buy this thing.
I think it's the tariffs.
It's got to be a tariff. It's got to be a tariff.
Well, if you love movies that make you question whether your life choices were right, well, you've come to the right place. You are hanging out with us in the Dumpster Fire Flix, and we hope you join us next time for even more trash that'll make it to the 5th tier. Hopefully not.
Hopefully we can avoid that for like at least a couple months before we hit the 5th tier.
If you enjoyed this vintage video look back, please like, share, and subscribe. It's been painful to relive these moments of our childhood, so hopefully you will reward us with a subscription, free. And if you can be so bold, you can become a channel member. You'll get such perks as stickers and some of our merch when the so forth comes out, which will be in the future. So until next time, my man.
See you guys.
See ya.